Are you looking for affordable land in Colorado? Today I'm going to share our 5.28 acre property in Costilla County, Colorado, and I will try to cover everything you need to know about it before the timer is up. So we have 30 minutes, and this way we're not wasting any time. All right, so let's take a look at what we're going to cover today. So I will go over everything you need to know about this 5.28 acres in Costilla County, Colorado, including what you can use it for, flood zones, wetlands, all of that. And then I will cover owner financing because we do offer owner financing on this property. So we'll cover those terms and how to buy and wrap up with our free land giveaway promotion. Okay, so this property can be found on our main listing page, which is land.gokcap.com. My company is Gokche Capital, by the way. And I'm not a real estate agent. I actually own my company owns all of the properties that we're selling. And that's why we're able to offer owner financing on almost all of our properties, including this one. So you can find a map on our main listing page with all of our available properties. The pins are the properties that are currently on the market. And this is an interactive map, so you can zoom in and zoom out. But today we're looking at one property in Costilla County, which is southern Colorado here. Although I do just want to note, if you're looking at our listings and you don't see any in your area of interest, or the properties that we do have right now in your area of interest don't work, you can sign up for text alerts. You can put in your state of interest and you will get a text whenever we post a property in your state, so you can be the first to know. All right, so today the property we are looking at is number 766 on our main listing page, Costilla on David Road. So it's Costilla County and it's on David Road. Now this number here, this is our internal numbering system. So don't use this number if you are looking up the property with the county, and don't expect to see it on the deed. But this is, if you did want to find it on our listing page, this is our internal number. So it's 766 on the main listing page. And if you did want to research the property with the county, here's the assessor's parcel number. Also, anyone who's live, if you have any questions, please leave them in the chat and I will get to them, or I will answer them right away. All right, so this is again 5.28 acres. And let's zoom out and see exactly where we are in Colorado. So as I mentioned earlier, we are in southern Colorado. We're not too far from the town of Alamosa, which is the largest town in the area. This is a valley. It's actually like an agricultural valley. There's a fair amount of agricultural activity in the area, but it's a valley in between two mountain ranges. And the nearest small town is Fort Garland up here. So you can see the agriculture in the immediate vicinity. This property is actually right by a number of parcels that are being used for crop farming. I'm not entirely sure which crops are being raised here, but there is a lot of agriculture in the nearby vicinity. And if we look at the drone footage, it does have access via a dirt road, which is in good shape right now. It is a flat lot, you can see. And because we're in that sort of valley area, you don't get that much vegetation. So if you wanted to build, it wouldn't be too much effort to clear the property. And we can pull up the full drone video as well. So let's go back to the beginning. Now we do start all of our drone videos with on-the-ground panoramic scan, so you get a sense of what the property looks like on the ground if you're not able to visit. You can see the expansive views, the mountains in the background. And it looks like our photographer actually went by the road in the back, which is in a little bit not as in good condition. But here you can see the drone footage, again, very flat, not too much clearing work that would be required. And you get a sense of the quality of the road here as well. And you see that there is what appears to be a homestead or a home nearby too. And we're not too far from a main road in the area. Now, in terms of lot details, so here's the assessor's parcel number again. You could use this if you wanted to do your research with the county on the property. The elevation is just under 8,000 feet, 7,900 feet. And we do give you the approximate GPS boundary point coordinates. These are approximate, so they are not a replacement for a survey, but they do give you a very good estimate of where the parcel boundary lines would fall. So you could use these when you visited the property to get a sense of where the boundaries are. We also give you the approximate GPS center point coordinates, which you can pull up in Google Maps, and you could use this to get directions to go visit the property. And I should say you're more than welcome to visit the property at any time. You don't need to call and make an appointment, although you can always call to go over questions about the property and our owner financing terms. But yeah, visit it at any time, and you can use these GPS coordinates to get directions. Here's the main road, by the way, in the area. So we're very close to that. That is Route 759, I believe, if I'm reading it correctly. And the nice thing about properties in this area is that annual taxes are very low. So not only are lots pretty affordable in this part of Colorado, but it doesn't cost that much to hold on to them. So this is an area where you see a lot of people who are, one, looking for off-grid living or recreational lots, or people who are looking for investments. So to expand on their portfolio, hold the property, wait for it to appreciate, all of that. So it does make it very affordable to own property out here. And the zoning is estate residential. I'll cover what that means and what the allowable uses are in a second. But first, I just want to wrap up some of these lot details. So you have everything you need to know before you move forward with the purchase. Right now, as I mentioned, this is an area where you see a lot of off-grid building. This is one of the counties we work in where we do see a lot of interest in off-grid. So all utilities would be alternative systems, like solar, well, and septic. That's all off-grid. There actually was a documentary on Costilla County where they were talking about people who live off-grid out here. And I believe the filmmaker actually ended up buying a house in Costilla County and now lives there full time. He just liked the atmosphere so much out here and the friends he made. But another nice thing about a rural property like this one is there's no HOA, so no additional restrictions from an HOA. And RVs are allowed within certain parameters too, so that makes this a nice area for anyone who's looking for a recreational lot. So according to our research, camping is allowed for up to 14 days every 3 months, and there is an option to apply for a permit if you'd like a longer stay. So I'd recommend talking to the county about what's required to get that permit if you were interested in RV living on a property like this one. But in the meantime, you do have 14 days every 3 months. So if you were looking at this as a recreational lot, that would be a nice perk, as you could bring your RV out for about 2 weeks every 3 months. Okay, so let's look at zoning and what you can do with the property. Now, as I said, this property is zoned estate residential. And I did pull up the zoning ordinance here so we can take a basic look at allowable uses, but I should say it's always a good idea to do your research with the planning and zoning department. Only you know what exactly it is you want to do with the property, so it's a good idea to make sure that the county will allow that, and then what you would need to do to actually move forward with your allowable use. So what kind of permits might you need, any sort of pre-tests you would need to get done, all of that. You should do your research and understand that. But right now at a high level, we can look at what some of the allowable uses are. So this is estate residential. And there are, actually, let's go down to the key to see what all of these mean. No, they didn't. So A, I believe, is allowed. So you can see accessory dwellings are allowed, storage, all these different kinds of accessory structures. And then there are a bunch of uses here that I'm not sure most people would be interested in, but I did want to call out that they actually have Earthship Home labeled here. So apparently there's enough interest in building Earthships in this area that they put it in the zoning ordinance, and those are allowed. I find that interesting. Not every county is that open to alternative building structures. And just since I mentioned it, for anyone who's not familiar with an Earthship, it's kind of like sustainable green architecture that's built. It's built to be self-sustaining and also sustainable. They use like earth bags or mud walls. Let's see if we can see some famous examples here. Some of them are built into the ground, but the idea being that they use sort of passive strategies rather than mechanical systems to heat and cool the home. So like a passive example might be you have these large south-facing windows. The sun comes in through those windows and hits the mud walls or the masonry walls, and those heat up throughout the day, and then at night they release energy, heat, so that you don't need to heat the house at night. Those kinds of strategies. They're kind of cool looking. Right. But other allowable uses include, let's go down to residential. So, they have it here. So a mobile home is also allowed in this area. So I want to highlight that too. That gives you a lot of flexibility with different kinds of housing types you could use in this area. And of course, regular single family homes would be allowed too. But you can take a look through this whole list. It's pretty exhaustive. You can do wind power too. They call that out. So that's nice. I mean, if you're looking at off-grid and solar energy, right, and single family. So those are some of the basic uses. You do actually get quite a lot of flexibility in this county, and that is why we like to buy in Costilla. Right, so now I want to take you through the online research that we do before we purchase a property. So you have all of that information while you're considering your purchase. So we use this software here to look at a lot of the basic things you would want to know about a property before you buy, like special hazard flood zones, wetlands, soils, all of that. And I will go through all of the different layers with you. Right, so now this is a rural lot. Let's turn these off so they're not distracting. We're not in a city, of course, and there are no conservation easements on the property. There actually is one down here. It looks like the farmer to the south is taking advantage of conservation easements to get a tax break, but not on this property, which is a good thing because that often limits development. As I mentioned, this property is flat. You can see from the contour lines, very flat, and the approximate elevation is 7,900 feet. Okay, and let's turn this off again. I don't know why it keeps turning back on. No federal or state land nearby. And no special hazard flood zone. You'd actually be surprised at some areas that have special hazard flood zones. Now there is an aquifer beneath the property, and there is a layer for water wells, so I'll show you that in a second, because I know that's often a big concern in this area. And in terms of soils, the whole area has very similar soils, so you can see here, and that's good to know because you can see that people are farming on the same soil type, and even some homes have been built on the same soil type around in here. That's all good sign, all good all a good sign if for septics or farming if you wanted to do some off-grid agriculture or homesteading. Although in an area like this, which is more desert type soil, that's not as much of a concern for septic. It's water that most people think about. So let's pull up the water well layer. Right now, this is interesting. It looks like there might have even been a well on this property at one point. Now, I don't have records of that, so I can't confirm it. But if that's the case, even if it was on the neighboring property, that's a very good sign. It means that you are able to drill a well out here. There are a lot of wells in this area. Of course, the nearby farmers are using wells for irrigation. So I can't get the information on how deep these wells are, but you do know it's being done in the area. And maybe if you give the county a call, they could give you an estimate on average well depth. I also believe that in Colorado, you do not need water rights for a domestic well. But of course, you can confirm that. You would need just a standard well permit, though, I believe. Okay. And there is actually a stream bordering the property right here. That may be seasonal, but no wetlands and no wind farms yet. Although I suppose potentially that could be one thing you could do with the property. Okay, so that covers the basic due diligence on the property. Now, I do want to get into owner financing because I know that that is how a lot of people are interested in purchasing land. So right now we do have this property priced at $11,497 plus the dock fee. And of course, we do offer owner financing. So we don't actually have set owner financing terms. We do like to tailor them to meet the needs of each individual buyer. So if you're interested in owner financing, please reach out to us and let us know what kind of down payment and monthly payment would work with your budget. And you can reach out to the team to talk about owner financing, any questions you might have during your own due diligence, or just to go over the process or additional lots. Check us out. You can sign up for calls by going to our contact page and book your free call, or just go to book.goatcap.com to speak with the team. So yes, we will work with you to make sure that the owner financing terms are affordable for you and makes the property work with your budget. I do, though, want to be upfront with two aspects of owner financing. So the first is that we can offer lower interest rates for higher down payments. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about your budget. The other thing is we do say that there's no building on or living on the property until the end of the loan term. And that's for liability reasons, but you can use the property for recreational purposes as long as you're in compliance with all local rules and regulations. And you can do minor improvements, so things that don't require a permit. Just let us know and we'll work with you on minor stuff. The other big thing is that for anyone who's interested in building, there's no prepayment penalty. So you can always pay off early when you're ready to get started building. And that will save you on interest and allow you to get started. But also, if you pay off soon enough, we'll give you cash back as well. So if you pay off the loan in 6 months, not only is there no penalty or fee for doing that, but we'll give you 5% cash back on the purchase price. And if you pay off in 12 months, we'll give you 2.5% cash back on the purchase price. So you can get started building, save on interest, and get some of your money back as well. And with owner financing, we do have an exchange guarantee. So if you do start out financing this property and then another one comes into our inventory that you really just love and you decide it's your perfect lot, you can exchange during that first year you're financing. You do have to pay another dock fee, but that's it. You just exchange the property and you know that you're getting the one that works best for you. On top of that, we have a landowner success bundle of 9 free bonuses that we give with every purchase. That's both cash and owner financing to help you get the most from your land, so set you up for success. And these bonuses include monthly landowner Q&A calls So separate from live streams like this would be a more intimate group of just you and our other land buyers to go over questions you might have about the property. You do also get a complimentary vacation voucher, hotel savings card, and restaurant savings card to help offset the cost of either maybe visiting the property or a nearby location, or just a vacation to celebrate land ownership. Every purchaser with us does have the option of requesting a 30-minute free architectural consultation with me as well, because I do have a background in architecture. So if you're interested in building, that might be a really a helpful meeting for you to think about next steps and what you need to do to get started. Finally, every purchase does come with our homesteading guide, building and zoning guide. These are not just like simple PDFs. These we put a lot of effort in. They're about 100 pages each, so we made them as comprehensive as we could. Everything you would need to know if you're looking to homestead or build. So that's our homesteading guide, building and zoning guide, and our post-closing checklist. And that gives you all the information you would need to know to get started once you own the property, get started on the right foot. Finally, every purchase does come with our neighbor lookup tutorial. So if the neighboring properties are vacant land and you're not able to find the owners, you can look up their address and send them a nice letter to introduce yourself, because it's always a good idea to know our neighbors. So these bonuses do come with every purchase. You get them once the deed is recorded. So that's upfront with the cash or at the end of the loan term with owner financing. And they have a value of about $5,675. So if you are interested in this property, please feel free to, again, reach out to the team to talk about the property, owner financing, what your goals are, how to get started. You can do that by going to our contact page or just go to book.gocap.com to book a call. And we have implemented a new system where our calls are Zoom calls, so you actually get to see the team and have that personalized support. The other thing is, I know that most people want time to do their due diligence. So we have the option of holding the property. It's $50 for 2 days, and you can hold for up to 8 days. And this will allow you to take the property off market so no one can buy it while you are visiting the property, calling us, calling the county, doing what you need to do to become comfortable with the lot. And that's very easy to do. There's an automated checkout process for the hold. You'll find it on the listing page under buy and hold. There's also a automated checkout process for a cash sale too. So if you're ready to just go ahead and buy it with cash, you can check it out automatically on the website as well. All right, so that covers how to buy. Again, you can find all the properties at land.gocap.com. And for those who are really interested in affordable properties, we do have a free land giveaway promotion as well to get the word out about our company. So you can find all the details by going to our YouTube channel homepage, just search Gokche Capital, and scroll down to the free land giveaway promotion video down here. That'll give you the details. It's very easy to participate. All right, so again, we were looking at property number, here we go, 766 on our website. It's 5.28 acres in Costilla County, Colorado. If you would like to book a call with the team, go to book.gocap.com or land.gocap.com to see all of our properties. Otherwise, I am live daily at 5 p.m. Eastern, so if you're looking at a lot of other properties, I do free land reviews. My partner and I do free land reviews at 5 p.m. Eastern every day. So if you'd like a second opinion on any of the properties you're looking at, you can join us and leave your property in the chat, or just join us to look at interesting properties. And that's, again, at 5 p.m. Eastern every day. So thank you for watching, and don't hesitate to reach out with any questions.